Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we're trying to display posts here that we can, and we've done the groundwork. Now, this is the data we are getting about this particular page. Now, if you're keen, you will notice the very important thing that's missing, and that is the category of this particular page. And this is the critical data, piece of data that we need, because we need to know the category of this particular page or categories. That way we know which posts to load. Okay, so back here to the function, the action that we are using. This is the posts plugin, and that's the data we are given, but it's not enough data because we need the categories. So in order to fix that, we're going to go to our pages, basic pages plugin here in plugin.php. We want, when we read our page, we also gather the categories it belongs to. So displays the view file. This is view, and this is where we are displaying the front end, right? This is where we want things to work out. Now already, if you go down to after query, we have two pieces of data that we are loading to each row. The first one is the user row, and the second one is the categories. So all we need to do is tell it to redo this part again after the query, and we should be good. So this one is when we set our query ID to get pages, we do run these things. So that's all we need to do really. Let me go up here. This is the front end, right? And right here, before I actually grab this item here, I want to set a after query thingy. So we're using the page class. So I'm just going to say page, and then in static mode, and set the query ID like so is equal to, and let's put quotes around that, and that's it. So the moment I do this, then we'll have a proper query ID that will make us load those things. So let's see here. This is the data we have now. If I refresh again, now we have more data. See that we have a user row here, and we have our categories over here, which is awesome. Now we know what category this page belongs to. And there's only one row, and that's the food category. But we don't need the name, we just need the ID of the category so that we can load posts that have that as well. Kudos. Now the thing is this, we have a posts, let's go to our database here for a second. In our database, we have the posts categories map, and we have the pages categories. So we want to check in the post category map here. Let me click on that. So we need to know, since we are being supplied the category ID, so we want to load category ID. In our case, the category ID is 1. We want to grab every post ID that has a category of 1. So here, this is what we have. So post ID 1 has a category of 1, and post ID 4 has a category of 1. So there are two posts that belong to that category, and we should display them. So it's as easy as that. So let's go and look at the, where is this? Basic posts. So we've done our part in basic pages. So the plugin of basic posts is this one. Here I want to check the models. So let's go to post. No, the category is map. This one should have a function that we can use. So let's say get category IDs using a post ID, right? Get category rows using a post ID. Interesting. Now we need another function that will get post IDs based on a category ID, right? Because these are using post IDs here, but I want the other way around, right? All right, so let's create this other function. So get category rows, but we want one that gets category IDs. No. We want, let's duplicate this one with rows. So we say get wait. What are we looking for? We get post IDs, right? Get post IDs. So underscore IDs, like that. So get post IDs using a category ID. Something like this. Now this is a real dilemma here. It would be better if this was an actual array of category IDs, right? Then we get all the post IDs that match those. So instead, let's do this. It's going to be an array. And what are we returning? Still an array, right? So category IDs, like that. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Categories table, get value, categories table. That's fine. And wait a second. I want to see which one over these. Okay, so this is categories map. So this query, we run this and say, let's go back here. So if I'm given a group of categories, I'll get post ID. So that's what we want. So this should be easier query. So I'm going to say select post ID, because that's all really we want from the categories table. Is it? Nah, not from the categories table. Actually, this should be easier. Let's do this. Let's say rows is equal to this, where let's use what's already there. That way we don't have to name the table and stuff like that, because the table is already named here, post categories map. So let's do this. Let's just say category ID should match. Oh, this is the thing. Right. This is the problem with this. Okay, a few hiccups here and there. All right, let's do this. Category ID string, right, is equal to. So I want to create a string I can use in my query. So first thing first, we don't need the categories table at all. We don't need this. Nope. Okay, so that's number one. Also, we need to make sure that the array is not empty. So we'll say if empty categories ID, then let's return an empty array, like so. Okay, so that way we skip to that part. So there it is. Now, if it's not empty, then let's implode. So what we're doing is we are squeezing whatever IDs are in the array into a string, and the glue is what character will be put in between them. So the character I want here is like two single quotes, like that, separated by a comma. Because what I'm trying to create is a list where there is like 1 and then comma and then 2 and then comma and then 3, or whatever number or whatever IDs are there. Maybe this could be ID 10, this could be ID 12, and so on. So now in between the values, you notice that there is a single quote, a comma, and another single quote. So that's what I'm putting here. So that's the value between items. But then this leaves the first and the last character here. So once we join those pieces, and the pieces are from the category IDs array, let me put that here, like that, okay? So at the beginning, I have to append a single quote as well. So let's do that. And at the end as well, I have to append a single quote. That way we get this thing here. All right, so that's the string I want to put in my query. So with that in mind, now we can remove this because this won't work actually for many IDs. So if rows is equal to query, and then we say select post ID, that's what I want to get from, not the cats table, but instead we say this table, whatever table this class represents, and we are getting this here because it's named table. So it's as good as typing this directly. Okay, so this table where disabled is equal to 0, and ID in, good, not ID, but category ID, because we will be supplied with a category ID. So let's go ahead and say category underscore ID. So where category ID in, and then we put that string over here. So we don't need anything else after this. Oh, my mouse is acting up. So let's do this here. Let's remove all that part and paste the string here. Now, in here, what we want, actually, we don't need any of this either. Boom. All right. Then we return the rows. Good. So get post IDs using specific category IDs. Nice. Okay, so we are able to do this using the categories map. So let's go back to our posts to plugin, and right in here, this is from the posts. So I'll leave that there. I'll leave everything here. Now, what I want to see is where we grab the data. So inside data here, let's go back and look at this. So this is the data, right? It's an array, and that array has a section called row, which has the actual object. So that's what we want to get. So here I want to say data row, right? And that row is an object. Actually, data is an array. So let's do this. Let's keep that in mind. I know it's an array because it's written here. It says array. So that's an array, but this row is an object. So in there we'll do this. That's how you access things from an object. And what I'm trying to access is the categories rows. This one here. So like so, right? Now it's very possible this could be empty. So we're going to put 2 question marks and emptiness like that. In case this doesn't work, then we default to an empty array. All right, so I want to see what's in there. Let me hold off on the data here for a second. That way we are clear what we are looking at. So let me refresh. And so we are grabbing just the categories. Now I want to get the ID only from this object. Oh, but this is an object, so I can't use. Now, what I'm trying to do here is that imagine there are several of these. There's 0, there's 1, there's 2. Maybe there are many. Which one actually has this? Let's not speculate. Let's go to our blog. And in our blog, we do have several categories, right? There's food, there's clothing, there's electronics. Now, I don't want the names. I want the IDs only. Now we can use array column to grab these guys, but unfortunately array column, I don't know if it works on an object, but let's give it a shot, shall we? So what I'll do is I'm going to say, let me duplicate this, and I'm going to say IDs is equal to, let's go category, that way we know what we are getting. Category IDs is equal to array column, and array column takes 2 params. The first one is the column you want. I want the ID column. The second one is the object or the array that you are trying to get from. So let me refresh. Okay, so that doesn't work because array column must be an array. Wait, Argument 1 must be array. String given. Okay, so I just swapped these guys. So sorry about that. I need to put the column name at the end. So comma there. I know that because it says the argument number 1 is the one that should be an array. But I think we'll still get an error. Oh no, we don't get an error, do we? Wait a second. Did that just work? Okay, so let me mute this for a second. Let me get the category IDs. I want to see. Does it work on objects too? Nah, it doesn't. Undefined variable category ID. Wait. Oh, I missed an S. Oopsie daisy. Look at that, it works on objects. I think maybe this could be an update in PHP 8, I'm not sure. But yeah, it works on objects, that's good. So now at least I have the IDs of the category IDs that I wanted. So now array column is good. You could use it to get the names, for example. That column is called category, and you will see that now I have the names of the categories only. So you can get one column from each row using array column. All right, so we're getting the IDs, and that's good. That's what I wanted. So now we can use our class. So there it is, this one, categories map. So let's grab this. We already grabbed this at some point, so I'm going to copy that and put it here. We need that, okay? Now we can say categories map over here. So now we want to get post IDs. So we say category map, and we created a function, get post IDs, in the categories map model. So from this, we can do this and then supply it with the IDs that we want, because it expects an array of IDs. And then now I want to see what I get in the post IDs, if anything at all. Okay, so let me refresh. And there it is. So we get all these post IDs, post ID 1, post ID 2. Now, I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be one single array with all these items in there. Okay, so, wait. Yeah, that actually works. So what I'll do is go back to that function, and instead of returning rows like this, I want it to return array column version of things and rows, but I want just one column, post ID, like that, and close that. Okay, so with that we just get a single array, and there it is. So we have 1 1 1 5 4 4. So let's try to see why it's like that. And there it is, 1 1 1 5 4 4, because every category here is represented. So that's why we're getting this. But we don't need a repeat here, all right? I just want a single, if something appears once, just to show once. So we can do that using a query. If I go here, I can group these items. So we say where disabled is equal to 0 and this, whatever. And then we say group by post ID, like that. Okay, so if we group by, we just get a unique set of values. And there it is, 1, 4, and 5. Much better. Okay, cool. So let's go back here. Now we have our post IDs, which now we can use a proper query to actually get some better results. So let me remove this. Let's do this. Let me move all of this after this part. So we have our post IDs that we need. Now what we do with those post IDs? Well, let's load, then we can just load some, wait a second, sorry about that. Let me go to the post thingy here. I want to see, we don't have a query that actually gets from a bunch, from an array. Maybe we should create something like that so that it's easier to find, to get things. Let me see here, content, categories, map. Okay, I think the only option we have is to just use the DB. So I'm gonna say db is equal to new core. Actually, we don't need to instantiate another class because each class has the query function already in there built in. So let's do this and just use the query function instead. Okay, so here these will be the posts. So in that query, we're going to say select all from. Now we want to know what the post table is, so let's grab it here. Post table. That way this is future proof. So where have I used this before? Wait a second. I haven't used this anywhere. Okay, I'll copy it from here because I remember using that here. So let's grab this. Let me go back to posts, basic posts, the function we're working on, right? And right about here, let me do this, the table. And tables and posts table, like that. Okay, so we grab the posts table. So select from post table, like that. Make sure you're using double quotes here, where ID in, and then we can collapse this post IDs the same way we collapsed, where is that? The same way we did it in here, this one here, the string. So I'm going to copy that as well back to here. So we have our post IDs here, and let me paste here. Now I'm going to say if not empty, right? Because it's important to have those post IDs. Then that's when we do this. If the post IDs are empty, let's just ignore. We don't need to show anything from this function if post IDs do not exist. So with this, we can go step by step and say category IDs, same thing here. But if it's empty, this function will exit. So that's fine. Okay, so at this point we're good. Now let's create our string. I'll put that there. Now instead of category ID string, I would say post, like that. So post IDs string, we implode the post IDs. So let's grab that string and put it in here. Okay, so now we can show our posts if any were returned. So like that. So if any posts were returned, let's refresh, and indeed they were. So there we go. So now the only thing that remains is to actually display the posts. Okay. So herein lies the issue where you have to design your actual UI here. Now, one thing you could do is just include a file instead of, because this is PHP. I would rather you don't put HTML in here, you just put PHP. So we include files. So let's do a for each loop here, for example. Let's do for each and say posts, right, as key and row. We don't need the key, we can just say post actually. And then in here, that's where you echo post, let's do that, and then let's echo post title, the title of the post. And yep, then let me concatenate a break tag. All right, so let's see that in action, and there it is. So this is a new post, my closing post, another test post, or another. So the posts are here. We just need to design some HTML to match these and display them properly. So now to show you that it actually shows different posts on different pages, if we go to clothing, how is clothing? No, it actually doesn't. So something is wrong. This one just shows, does it though? So food, This is a new post. This is my... Now let's confirm this. This is on the food thingy. So let's look at which posts are in the food category. There are 2 of them. Okay. So there's clothing post. So let me just edit this. This is a clothing post. Let's remove it from the food category. Okay. That's clothing. This is a new post. This one belongs to everyone. Let's make a post for food. Let's just call nice plate of food. All right. So this is a post about food. And it's food category, of course, and save it. Okay. So let me go back here. In the food category, we should have only one post. So nice plate of food. This is a new post. Yeah, this is actually accurate because this one post belongs to all categories, but this one only in the food category. So if I go to clothing, I shouldn't see the food post. It isn't there. And here we have more now. This blog shows everything, so there's more posts. So it's actually working as it should. So this is nice. The only thing is, in the next video, let's actually create the design of a particular post so they look much nicer than just titles like this. All right, boys and girls, I will see you in the next video.